Be ready. 5 seconds. I beg to move that the bill further to amend the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act 1957 be taken into consideration. Madam, thank you for providing the opportunity to present this bill. Mining is a very important sector. We have the same mineral potential compared to South Africa and Australia. India produces around 95 minerals. We produce around rupees 1.25 lakh crore worth of the minerals, and we import around rupees 2.5 lakh crore worth minerals. After agriculture, mining is the biggest employment generator. 1% growth in the mining sector generates almost 1 lakh direct employment and 5 lakh indirect employment opportunities. Despite having all this, we are still underexplored. Our government, under the leadership of Sri Narendra Modi ji, brought an amendment in 2015 introducing the transparent and non-discretionary method of allocating the mineral resource through auction. There is now transparent auction system that is online. The mantra of Honorable Prime Minister, who has directed and guided all of us, all the ministers, is reform, perform and transform. I do not want to go into the details. I am not interested in that. We have now started reforms, and we should unanimously bring a major change which can contribute to a great extent to the state exchequer. Continuing with our reforms in this sector, in 2019 BJP manifesto under the leadership of Sri Narendra Modi ji, we had promised that in coming few years we will bring the contribution of the mining industry to GDP from 1% to 2.5%. That was our promise, especially making use of the lockdown period. We have utilized all our channels of energy in finding out a solution to the problems of not only this sector but many other sectors also. After having interactions with the states, stakeholders and others, we have formalized this major reform. Our government, under the leadership of Sri Modi ji, aims at unshackling the huge potential of mining sector to generate employment. We are also taking care of the welfare of the people living in the mining areas. For the first time, DMF, District Mineral Foundation, was instituted in 2015. The major objective of this reform is to generate employment. Around 55 lakh direct and indirect employment opportunities are expected to be generated through this reform. These are the major points with regard to this reform. We have also decided to provide funding from the National Mineral Exploration Trust (NMET). The Prime Minister has been kind enough to make it a professional and autonomous body. The funds generated in NMET will be completely utilized for exploration, and even private players will be involved in the exploration activity. Steps are being taken to further increase the mining activity. The second thing is with regard to transfer of clearances. A new person will come and take the mining lease. For that, he has to apply everything afresh. That will take years together. Now, we have decided that these clearances should normally be transferred to the new owner like any other infrastructure project. In case of mines, this transfer of clearance ceases once the lease period ends. To encourage ease of doing business, which is the mantra of the Honorable Prime Minister, to stop the repetitive and redundant process, and to streamline the process, we have decided that these clearances will be transferred to the next successful bidder. To the new lessee to obtain the fresh clearance of the same mine is repetitive and time consuming, and is creating a hurdle in doing business. Now we have decided to stop it. Earlier, every approval of the mine used to come to the central government in Delhi. The previous approval of the central government was required before granting the mining lease or prospecting license by the state government. Our government has done away with that practice, and we have started democratization of the powers. We have given it to the state governments, and the state government now, without the previous approval of the central government, can go for auction. States can allocate, and this power is given to the state government. However, in the last 5 years, after the system of auction came in, around 143 mines were handed to various states. Out of that, only 7 mines were auctioned. I would like to congratulate the Odisha government. Comparatively, they have done very well, and even Karnataka for that matter. Only 7 mines have been auctioned, and in March 2020, 334 mines got expired. Out of that, 46 mines were working mines. Those working mines were given back to the state government for the auction. But out of that, only 28 mines were auctioned. After March 2020, they were lying as it is. This has very adversely affected the mineral supply in the entire country.